referee, Kirk Shepherd, looking proud in his traditional German wear.
Kirk who? Kirk Shepherd?
Kirk Bevins.
There we go, yeah.
I had Kirk Shepherd on the brain. We was talking about him earlier. Talking about mad runs.
Yeah, that was the maddest of runs, Kirk Shepherd, all the way to the World Championship final. Something that Brendan Dolan has not managed, but he is a major finalist, of course. The history maker. That incredible run to the Grand Prix final. Not just a one-off either. Had another great run at the Grand Prix around that sort of time. You're going back a decade ago now, more than a decade.
When it was back at the City West.
Found a new home. This tournament has very much found its home at the Zenith, 6th staging of this event, the 5th here at this particular venue.
Normally a concert venue, I do believe, isn't it?
Some of the greats have played here. I think
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg.
some of the legends of rock.
AC/DC.
Yeah.
Some pop icons. And Alan Soutar. Although, to be fair, when Alan Soutar and Brendan Dolan have played here before, it's not gone well.
Well, the trousers are very Rod Stewart.
They are. I hadn't twigged.
41.
But they very much are. It is a weekend of ridiculous garb.
Well, ironically,
66.
Soutar beat to claim his place here in Munich was Luke Woodhouse. And he beat him. It was a fabulous game. Suits averaging 98.75. Woodhouse beaten 6-3 with a 99.4. But he was the lucky loser.
Yeah, got a reserve list, so it's the highest seeded players in the qualifier who are on standby, if you like. And then when Gary Anderson pulled out with injury, we're told, Luke Woodhouse was the next cab off the rank, so he gets his spot in. Now, that is interesting where Brendan Dolan is concerned, because Brendan Dolan is currently 500 quid behind Luke Woodhouse and one spot outside of the provisional world match play places. Now, when the qualifier was held, you'd have been thinking, happy days. Woody's not in it, I am.
434.
Alan Soutar's done me a favour. All of a sudden, Woody is in it, and he's playing Suits, who, if he conjures up some of the form from the qualifier, then Brendan Dolan could find himself even further behind Luke Woodhouse and the rest in the race for Blackpool.
Yeah, he's having a... seems to be playing in spells. I can only put it down to maybe work commitment and just maybe not having enough for hockey time to prepare for tournaments. But when he's on, he's on. And on that particular day of qualifying for here, he was on in what would have been the semi-final. He beat Ricky Evans 6-4 with 105.02.
He's got that in his locker as Suits. Fireman, guide dog trainer and professional darts player. Got a lot on his plate.
And then you require 75.
That's slightly more on his plate right now than Brendan Dolan, who's looking at 75 for the opening leg.
And maybe that is down to the peaks and troughs, as he got just so much on. Double six.
63. And then you require 120.
That looks helpful for the treble. Doesn't make any use of it whatsoever.
Yeah, he's had some incredible runs at the Worlds, hasn't he?
And then you require 12. James on the first leg.
Sedate start to this one, Dan.
Second leg, Alan to throw first. Game on.
Single gilding from Dolan there. Yeah, it was pretty sedate. And look, Brendan Dolan is nowhere near as slow as he used to be, although he's perhaps a touch slower than some of the stuff we've seen from him in recent times so far in this game.
Yeah, well, when I first ever played
59.
Brendan Dolan, he was actually what I would have called a quick player. And then he sort of reinvented his action and felt that he could be
45.
more accurate, more consistent, more precise just by being more measured. And then that went out the window, and we're now at medium-paced Dolan.
That's a bit quicker and it's a lot better. First 180 of the contest, and it goes to the Northern Irishman.
99.
Burns Rush is up next against Jermaine Watamina, who's having a bit of a revival, isn't he?
He is, certainly. Good to see from the machine gun.
56.
Holding a man who is, I mean, that's impressive. Is that headwear?
I think it was a hat done.
44.
Some craft has gone into that. And imagination. Expect you to go and steal it.
Big Barney will be front of the queue.
60.
Bigger collection of toys than he has trophies nowadays. Van Barneveld, title winner this year.
Well, absolutely nowhere that.
97. Brendan Uruguay,
I
146.
believe he's been practicing with Jeffrey Deswan and punching in some good numbers in preparation for this. I think it was somewhere last night in the area doing an audience with Russ Bray and RMC Phillip.
Can't be done now.
It's a combination of languages, isn't it?
76. Brendan Uruguay,
Barney in
86.
Dutch. Phil in Swiss, or whatever they speak there, and Russ in...
Full Mike Reed.
Yes. Staying on the 18s. Bullseye.
61.
Not quite 2-0. But this game is there for the taking for either player who can just raise their level a bit. Suits levels the tie up. 19 data in the opening leg, 19 data in response. It is nothing special. Two players playing like guys who've never won in this venue. 3 times Brendan's been here, lost all 3. This is Suits' 3rd time here. He'd lost the previous 2.
Someone's O's going to go then.
Yep.
180.
It always helps to hit 180s, but with Alan Soutar, in the spells where he's played well, and they do come in spells, they're little sort of month or twos, as Brendan responds with a second match. It is those 180s which are perhaps the biggest problem. Hit 180s and hit double 18 usually. 4 perfect darts to start the leg for Suits.
Did we have a 9 here last year?
No, we've not had a 9 in this tournament.
137.
This is much better for the pair of them. Dolan leaving 44 after 3 visits to the board.
$60. Brendan, you require 44.
Sport in Euro Tour 1, wouldn't they, in Belgium?
Were. 16.
Yeah,
He's found 11 data, much more like it from Brendan Dolan. All going with throw at the moment. Luke Little winning European Tour on debut. Not here this weekend, not in the next Euro Tour either. It's very difficult to qualify for these things nowadays.
Yeah, didn't qualify. He's beaten by Jim Williams 6-5.
98.
Fairly early on in the qualifier for this one. Well, he did have an off day. Look at his numbers that day, and I think he'd effectively emptied the tank. It was on the back of a series of Pro Tours, wasn't it?
Yes, where he won on his debut on the Pro Tour. Beat Alan Soutar, in fact. First Pro Tour of the year. Luke Littler's first full stop, of course. Littler took the title, beat Suits in the semi-finals. Now, again, there, you're thinking, Alan Soutar playing great darts. Let's see what we can do. He's going to have one of these streaks. And in the subsequent 5 events, he's managed to win 2 games. You never know what you're going to get with Suits.
And the players will be aware of that as well. And sometimes they are just players to face because you don't know what you're going to get.
Oh, the back-to-back last 16s at the World Championship. He had a great Grand Slam campaign as well to add to that. He has reached Pro Tour semi-finals, more than one.
I think it's safe to say he's just a big stage player, isn't he? He just loves, obviously, playing in front of the crowd. Those runs in the world's back like that.
Does he want a 170 here? Well, it's not an option now. Only comes away with a ton, but there is some pressure on this. Suits may only get a dart at the bullseye. Do better than that, double 15. Awkward, but not moving.
60.
Raises it.
Brendan, you
This would hurt.
require 110.
Bind. They're in big trouble. They stay there. Surprised at that, Dan. It looked
86.
like a nice
And you
guide.
require 30.
It's pretty old school, Brendan, isn't he? Less likely to go for those sorts of shots.
Yeah,
Soutar a nice safe one, miles outside the double 15 before he does manage to pin it the second attempt. 4 legs in, it's all going with throw. There is a 9-point or 8 or 9 point difference in the averages here, and it's largely down to Brendan having one great leg, that 11 dart.
Yeah, leg
30.
3. Max in the leg. Yeah, that dart at double 15 was a bit like the kind of dart you throw, or you tell people to throw down the
97.
pub at double 1. Just put one out there to get a feel for where it is.
That's the first dart he wants.
140.
That's a bad ton 40 if there is such a thing,
Yep.
because he could not have placed that first dart any
Not if
better.
he walked up and put it in the board high and in the middle, not obscuring the target whatsoever the way his darts land.
More than 2,000 fans in here this afternoon. It is 2,500 plus for every session following this one. More than 17,000 tickets sold, and this time Brendan gets it right.
I can't see any seats that are available there.
Yeah, it does. I think they can get 3.5 in here, but I think you're going to be rather
70.
intimate with the person sitting next to
Brendan,
you
you
if that is
require
the case.
151.
Meaning 2 to a seat.
Yes.
They couldn't have squeezed the fans any closer to the stage. Had a good look around and they're right on you. Great atmosphere out there.
Good venue this for the greatest tour in professional
57.
sports.
Bar
MVG
none.
won the first 3. Will come for his, picked up his first ever Euro Tour title here, and Michael Smith picked up the victory. His
Brendan, you require
only
94.
big stage ranking victory of last year when he won this title.
Yeah, because the first tournament was Bahrain, wasn't it?
Yes, which
After
he did
the
win.
Worlds. Yeah, but non-ranking, as you say.
54.
I think for Michael Smith it was very much a year of just enjoying completing things.
Brendan, you require 40.
Oh, do the hold of throw go on here? Not just yet.
And you require 114.
This was a feature of his play in the Worlds, his ton-plus outing.
Double 18, he loves this double.
78.
Can't find it on this occasion.
Brendan, you require 10.
I think we'll see the split, but you've got to attack it.
Game shot
And
the fifth
does.
leg, Brendan Dolan. Six legs, Allen to throw first. Game on.
Winner of this to face Ross Smith, the number 12 seed, a man who has been playing such brilliant darts for such a long time. Does not have the Euro Tour record to match the standard of his play.
Correct.
Former European champion, of course.
Yep. Beat Michael Smith in the final, and it was a epic final.
137.
Yeah, having pulled off an unlikely victory against Peter Wright earlier that night in Dortmund. These guys all playing on the Euro Tour to get to Dortmund
57.
again for the European Championship, of course. Early days, the race starts at the start of the year. We've had one tournament. Pole position at the minute is, of course, Luke Littler, having won in Visa in Belgium. So again, Brendan has a great first dart.
140.
You'll see from the reaction, it's another bad ton 40 for Brendan.
$60.
Top 32 of this Order of Merit from the European Championship will
100.
compete in that European Championship you mentioned.
6. Brendan, you require 124.
6 darts from here for Brendan to get the first breaker throw in this match. No need to look at the 14s. Oh, he is. Double 11. What was that wise?
Yeah, that's interesting with Suits not on a finish. Massive break opportunity.
22.
Double 11 wanted.
Miss inside, he might have a problem here. It doesn't, and that should help him. And you see how quick he was at that final dart. He felt he had the line, or at least the weight of dart. Slight adjustment to the line. And it is our first breaker throw in this one. Brendan Dolan looked like a piece of questionable board management. Might have caused him a problem, but he got out of that hole.
Very nice. 15 dart breaker throw after having 4 darts at the double. Shorten the walk-on to make sure they can get more seats in here.
57.
Which one is your favourite?
Euro Tour?
Yeah.
Depends what you want. You want some history, you can go to somewhere like Sindelfingen. You want... The fans in Belgium are absolutely sensational. We'll wait to see what it's like the second one this year.
Yeah, it looked amazing, the first one.
Off to a new venue in the Netherlands this year for the Euro Tour. We'll see how that takes, because it's been desperately searching for the right home in the Netherlands, the European Tour. First one in Switzerland this year as well. The new venues, new countries, but some established events like this one that really have settled in and get great support.
Is that the European Tour venue in the Netherlands, that the one next to the Ajax Stadium?
No, this will be very close to Den Bosch, where we were on the World Series in Rosmalen.
109.
Now, Brendan Dolan's taken a grip of this game. Alan Soutar, he was going toe-to-toe with him for the first 4 legs, but Brendan's got a little bit better, and Suits, if anything, has faded a touch. He's tried to go ball to leave tops.
Yeah, a little bit messy, but time on his side. Well, he did have time on his side.
171.
That is either brilliant or the most meaningless visit of the match. Double top for 5-2. Meaningless, pointless, waste of points for Alan Soutar. Superb set-up shot, gets nothing for it. Now must win 4 consecutive legs.
$45.
Suits has not only never won a game in this venue, he has never beaten Brendan Dolan. Lost out to him on the Pro Tour earlier this year, did lose to him heavily in Budapest 2.5 years ago now on the European Tour. It is 3 defeats from 3 against Dolan, and it looks like that run is going to continue.
Well, Dolan keeps finding these 2 treble turns. 122-point lead minus these on the Soutar throw, and he knows.
Yeah, and this could be a big win for Brendan, because not only does it get him some money for the European Championship Order of Merit, there's another perfect first start. And this time he gets it right. It's a 4th maximum for the history maker, but it moves him provisionally into the match play. Yes, there's a long way to go. It moves him even further ahead of Darrell Gurney in a race for a World Cup spot to partner Josh Rock in Northern Ireland. There are some interesting battles that Brendan Dolan's going to be in for the whole of this year. Double 10 will end this battle, and does. A 12-darter to wrap it up. Brendan Dolan